Hello, welcome to Poised and Petty. This is my podcast where I share my transition, male to female, boy to babe, and this will be my podcast diary about my transition, what I'm going through in this life as someone who's trans. Yeah, this will just be my weekly dose of conversations about gender transition, fashion, beauty, makeup, self development, and the art of being graceful, unstoppable, and just petty enough to keep things interesting. Because, life is too short to be anything other than iconic. So if you want to follow along on my journey, I would love that and appreciate that. So drop a follow, drop a subscribe wherever you're listening, or if you're watching this somewhere, I would really appreciate it. And yeah, let's get into the first episode of this podcast. As you can tell by the title, this is my story so far. So I just want to talk about my story as a trans feminine. I am transitioning from male to female. So yeah, that's so I've always known that I wanted to be more. Oh my gosh, sorry about that. These motorcycles. um, I've always known since I was a kid that I wanted to be a girl, to be female. I remember growing up and how my parents would tell me for my birthday, blow out the candles, make a wish, and you don't tell anyone your wish, otherwise it won't come true. And I remember blowing out the candles and wishing that I would wake up as a girl and that everyone has always known me as a girl and that it was just how things have always been. Yeah, I've never told anyone that before, but that's what I wished for a few birthdays when I was really young. I also painted my nails. I went through my mom's stuff. I painted my nails. I tried on my mom's heels. And yeah, I remember my parents talking to me about that. I don't remember the exact specifics of that conversation, but I do remember them talking to me about that, and I kind of just packed that away and kept that to myself until I got out of high school, past high school. Yeah, one of these days I would love to talk to them and see if they remember that and what they told me because I don't remember. But yeah, that didn't come back up until after I graduated high school, I joined the army. And I was in the army for about 4.5, 5 years, active duty. Um, I was the type of person who kind of tried to be more of that hyper masculine route to kind of go against the internal feelings that I was having. But when I was in the army, that's when I had my first hookup with a man, which I really enjoyed. I really liked that. That was nice. So, but I felt guilty, and that was, I think, internalized homophobia, which later grew to become internalized transphobia, which I would say a little bit I am still dealing with today, and I am looking at getting back into therapy. I actually called someone today to set up an appointment. So I want to get back to working on my transition. I have definitely put that on the back burner over these past few years. Um, and then about 6 months after I got out of the army, I was like, okay, I need to start acting on this. I need to start um, working on my transition because it was just too much. Um, so yeah, when I got out of the army, I had a whole beard and facial hair. But like I said, 6 months after, I just shaved that. I couldn't have that anymore. So I got out of the army at the end of 2017, and then January 9th of 2019 was when I started hormones through the VA, which at that time they weren't doing injections, so I started with patches, and then later I went through my insurance, and I got out of the VA and started going just locally. I'm in Wisconsin, so I went to UW Wisconsin and started getting injections, I think a year and a half or 2 years later. And then 2022 or 2023 was when I changed my name. So it is now legally Ellie. Yes, so yeah, my name is now Ellie, which I absolutely love that name. And I didn't realize until a year or two after I picked that name how popular Ellie is among the trans femmes. There are a ton of people named Ellie, which is hilarious, and I love that. It's a great name. Yeah, so fast forward again a few years later. Today it is the end of, it's March 2025. Yeah, so I've been on hormones for 6 years, and that is a very long time. And my transition has gone very slowly. I know that you don't want to compare yourself to others, and I know some people are very fast with their transition. They'll go in like 3 to 6 months. They'll try to do as much as they can, and that has not been my story. My story's been very slow. I don't know anyone else who's gone so slow as I have, but that's okay. Like I said, we are all on our own journey. Yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at. That was a very quick, very quick recap of my transition. I'm sure I can go into it further, some more into the future, but that's kind of where I'm at right now. Yeah, so what's next for my transition? My big thing right now is I want to work on voice training. So this week I'm going to start watching a ton of YouTube videos, just reading articles, blogs, anything that I can get my hands on voice training, and trying to more feminize my voice. I hate my voice. I know not everyone, nobody likes their voice, right? But to me, listening to it is just nails on a chalkboard. It is just awful. Which I think is one of the reasons why it's been so hard for me to voice train, is because you have to listen to it and you have to, get feedback, either if you sign up for voice lessons, or, your partner, friends, family, you can talk to them, or they'll tell you about your voice. and it's just been so hard for me, but I want to, and I'm going to start working on that, which is just, it's very hard for me. And then I also want to get some surgeries done. So I want to get top surgery, which refers to when you're going male to female, it's a breast augmentation. I want to get that. I want to get bottom surgery, right? Not everyone wants that, not, but I want that. Yeah, and I also want to get I also want to get a BBL. I would love a BBL. I want to also get fat transfer. I've been looking into rib removal, which kind of gets more of that hourglass shape. Yeah, I don't think I've been blessed by the hormone estrogen gods. I want to get some surgeries and kind of work on, feminizing my body a little bit. Yeah, I'll also be. I don't know if I said this before, but I'll also be uploading videos on my YouTube channel. So if you're listening to this somewhere else, go to YouTube, check out my channel. It's under the same name. I will be uploading a video of my transition so far, so you'll see some pictures and videos of kind of what I've looked over the years, going back from high school to today throughout the army. So yeah, if you want to see my transition so far, I'll make a video and I'll just put that on YouTube. Let's see. I don't know. I don't know what else to talk about. This is a very short episode. Yeah, so I guess this is it. Just a quick intro, episode 1. If you've watched this, if you're still listening to this, I appreciate you. Let me know what you want to hear about regarding my transition, or if you want to just follow along, please like, subscribe. Tell me if you like this, if you're still listening. Yeah, I am very excited to kind of document and start working on my transition again. I've really put it on the back burner. I'm in school full time, getting my bachelor's, and I work full time. So, paying bills, focusing on my education, and then getting on hormones. I kind of just thought that was like the end all be all. So I definitely put my transition on the back burner after I got on hormones and my name change. I was just like, all right, all done. And now fast forward a few years, how life happens. It just gets away from you, and I've just realized that I'm not where I want to be. I really need to put the time, effort, energy into my transition, and yeah, work on that. Yeah, so this is going to be a weekly podcast on that. I want to learn about makeup. I want to get the full face, just be a doll. I love the cat eye, the cat eye eyeliner. Yeah, I want to kind of learn all of that, and I'm excited. Makeup, fashion. Yeah, I am excited. So that's yeah, that'll be it. I guess I will see you next week with an update on hopefully starting voice training, and yeah, I'll find a topic that we could talk about every week, and go from there. So again, if you are still listening, I appreciate you. Yeah, and I will see you next week. All right, bye.